Hello, PDHP parents and community. It's Carrie Ann Fitzgerald, your Parent and Community Outreach Coordinator. And we are here for our Family Fun Friday. And as we have been in the past few weeks, we are focusing on our Parent and Teen Night. We have talked pretty much about the first half of Parent and Teen Night. The rationale, getting to know each other, noticing different things that are around, stopping and having some time for just communication, which is always important, and some time to take a break, to have a drink, to have a snack, and to check in with one another. So I'm going to continue our Parent and Teen Night. It is important, as we're going through the many things that are happening in our world, to be able to stop and, like our ESCs have said, have a joyful June, have, some positive time, loving time, bonding time with our families. So this one is a piece on cooperation. We also do this in our family fun nights for the younger grades, and it's fun. It's creating a rainstorm. So a lot of people look at me like, okay, what are you talking about? And basically what we do is we get into a circle, and I walk around the circle, or the facilitator who's doing the piece walks around the circle, and each time they stop or pass by another individual, that individual in the circle will copy the action of the facilitator. And they'll continue that action until they pass by. So people sometimes are doing some different things within the circle. That's okay, that's part of it, just to imitate the actions that are shown, okay? So I usually go over that a little bit more because it gets a little confusing. So I clarify, we ask some questions, and then we get started. So the first thing is to hear the wind rustling the leaves. We rub our hands together and we're listening. And we're seeing everyone do that one after the other after the other. And I usually ask anyone I'm working with to stand in the circle to model it so that we all can see what's going on and how it should go. Then we see the rain is starting to fall. So the idea is to snap fingers. It's kind of like a rhythm that occurs. So you'll have some people who are rustling leaves, some people who are starting those raindrops. And each time a facilitator walks by, they know to imitate the new action. Then we say that the rain is falling harder now. So we kind of slap our thighs as we're walking by. You can probably hear that. Sounds like a pattering sound of rain, right? And then we get really loud, we stomp our feet. The rain is coming down now. I'm not going to be that loud today, I hope you don't mind. But think about those actions, the rustling, the snapping. If you have younger kids who are joining in, or kids who can't snap, you can just click your tongue, and that makes similar sounds, hitting your legs, stomping feet. I kind of did that a little quietly. Usually we get really enthusiastic at that one. So we know that the rain is coming down, and then we reverse all of those actions, okay, to end the storm. So while we're stomping, now I'll say the rain is passing now. The rain is lighter now. The rain is stopping now. And we get quieter and quieter until we are all silent and the storm has passed. And then those questions, those processing questions come up. Processing is very important. Were we successful? How did it feel for us to work together? What did we have to do to achieve that success? So those questions come up. Then we get into what's called communication or physical awareness. And I have to say, I have not done this yet, this activity in a parent-teen night, but I had done it in my classrooms when I taught 7th and 8th grade back at St. Charles Borromeo so many years ago. So if you're a St. Charles Borromeo alumni, or you know the school, or you have friends who went there. Hey. So this one is a communication and a physical awareness, that physical sense of literacy, maybe a little body language. And we call it greetings. What we would do is we divide our group in half, okay? And they'll go to opposite walls. We're usually like in a gym when we do this, a gym or an auditorium. Gives us more space to kind of spread out and get things done. And once everyone is kind of settled, and of course remember those rules to quiet everyone down so that we can focus on the fun. When I say go, everyone would start walking past each other. So they would kind of cross paths, one group to another. That idea of even being on a busy street and crossing at the light, right? And as we cross, there would be different objectives that we'll call out for. So the first time, maybe as you cross, greet the person you see with just your eyes. Greet the person you see with your feet. Greet the person that's across from you as if you're very surprised to see him or her. Greet the person you see as if you are very worried about them. Greet the person you see as if you're listening to your favorite song. So all of these different actions, these interactions, and seeing how that is. What are the things that are being said? What are the things that we see, that we notice, that we hear, right? And processing, what skills did we need to do this activity? Okay. Sometimes it's that empathizing with the scenario, empathizing with another person. Think about that. I'm concerned about, when I see this person, I'm worried about them. What gets through. And then we take some time for bonding. So we go back with our families. We usually have a printout called the Family Shield. And we take a marker. And we think back when we started, we had these power names for our families. These positive, powerful adjectives. We read the directions of the sheet. The sheet basically talks about different values. And if I do have one, I will post it, of course. But we discuss those different points, those different values. We discuss them, we write them, maybe we draw our notes out. There's some kids who and some adults in their learning, their preference is maybe infographic or drawing. And my dog, Tanya, of course, is here saying hello to everybody, if you can hear her, wondering who I'm speaking with. So, we do that, and then the youngest or the oldest, depending on how you want to do it for the evening, will share something with the group at large. And then we have a closing. In that closing, we stop and we say, I appreciate, okay? We appreciate the time together. We appreciate something about that time together, the night, the event, the family that we are, part of, or the person that's sitting on one side of us or both sides of us. But we take time to show that appreciation in our words. And of course, we review PDHP and those services. Remember, we're here for you. We have family therapists, we have counselors. Just because we are not in the physical building together does not mean that we cannot work with you. We talk about, continuing to take time together. We have an inordinate amount of time now together. Let's make that the best we can. Let's bond, let's guide, let's teach. And we also remind the kids, please take time for your parents. In all of these years, as they become teens, there's more pulls on them. There's more relationships. So a lot of their life now happens outside of the family unit. So just being very cognizant that that's what happens. So how can you make that time for your parents? How can you help each other out? How can you, bond? What does that look like? What's the best way? Okay, and just being aware of it. Maybe making sure that, mom and dad always want to have, dinner or breakfast or whatever. And, I want to make sure that I set that tone, that I will do that too. Okay. we usually bring a lot of resource with us, different activities and things of that nature, and tips. So, we have that available before people leave. And we also do a What Stuck With You. You've probably seen those posted before. I usually bring a board and everyone is able to write out a little word or phrase or even just an activity that they've enjoyed for the evening and post it up on that board to give us a little feedback and for us to take that idea with us. And generally what happens is the principal is presented with that as a thanks, and the principal likes to put it up. And, that way everyone can kind of see it and say, oh, wow, that was a pretty nice night, it seems like. It seems like a lot of people got things out of it. Very, very good. And that is our parent teen night, our Friday family fun night. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I wish you the best. And I will be seeing you again on Wednesday, not Mindful Monday. I have a day off. So I will see you for What's Good Wednesday, and you can continue to check in on PDHP parents. Take care.